Jimmy, your babysitter's here. I heard the familiar words from my mommy, who was actually my wife of 3 years, who was busy getting ready for her date in the other room. I was in my nursery, sitting on the floor, where I'd been told to wait for my babysitter's arrival. It still drove me crazy with jealousy to see Denise getting ready for a date with another man. All this while I was destined to spend another long, lonely night in my crib. The unfairness of it grated on me constantly, and not for the first time did I strongly resent our unequal relationship. On evenings such as this, I was inclined to put up a fuss and be a pest with her. So increasingly, she had relied on the services of Brooke, our current babysitter, to keep me out of her hair. I saw the door to my nursery was soon being pushed open, and Brooke's pretty face, with her long, silky blonde hair framing it, beaming like sunshine as she looked down upon me. "And how's Mommy's little girl?" she asked solicitously, although her tone of voice couldn't mask her amusement. Brooke was a gorgeous, mature college student. Brooke treated me like a little, and Denise had given her the task of babysitting me when she was too busy to put up with me herself. Brooke had taken to the job like a fish to water, enjoying her power over me, and Denise had given her full authority to discipline me as needed. And despite the fact she'd been babysitting me for over a year, I still burned with humiliation whenever she came over and saw me dressed as I was. It certainly wasn't helped by my wife's choice of attire for me. I was wearing a frilly pink gingham Sunday dress, anklets, and glossy black Mary Janes, looking a little different from a precocious toddler. It looked like Brooke had just left the university because she was dressed in casual clothing suitable for the warm summer months. Short, snug shorts that showcased her firm thighs, toned from years of cheerleading, and a form-fitting white crop top that revealed her flat washboard tummy. "What a pretty dress you have on, Jimmy," she exclaimed as she came over and felt the eyelet lace trimming the short hem. "Is that a new one?" "Aha," I mumbled as I blushed with renewed embarrassment. My wife had made it clear to me when we got married that she would be the one in charge. She had even gone to the extent of making me sign a prenuptial agreement which established our very different roles. Basically, I was to do as she told me, whenever she told me, and without question. I had been so awed with her incredible beauty and statuesque body that I was willing to agree to anything, so long as it meant living with her. What I hadn't counted on was her plans to gradually feminize me and lower my effective age to that of a preschooler. Our first argument had ended badly for me. She'd settled it by yanking me over her lap and giving me a blistering spanking with her wide-backed hairbrush, reducing me to tears in just a matter of moments. Not satisfied with my childish display of defeat, she continued to soundly paddle me, driving home her absolute authority over me and forever relegating me to secondary status. After that, she gradually threw out all my underwear, replacing them with lacy panties and putting me in girly dresses to wear around the house. But it was when she caught me doing untoward acts that things took a turn for the worse. After another painful and humiliating spanking, this time in front of my mother-in-law, she produced a chastity device. She had never been happy with my equipment down there, and this was just another way for her to take control over me. We had only been married for months when she happily brought home her latest purchase, a stout wooden paddle with numerous air holes drilled in the face for the extra sting. Even though I had been on my best behavior that day, she still insisted on breaking it in upon my panted bottom. I was sobbing like a baby by the time she finished, and since that first day, I've felt it sting many times, often, for only the slightest of reasons. It was not long after that Denise hired some workers to come in and redecorate our spare room as a baby's nursery. A large, oversized crib dominated the room, and the walls were papered with pink cartoon characters. This became my room, and I was told the master bedroom was now off limits to me. Soon, Denise began seeing other men, and she made no secret of her weekly liaisons. Her mother fully approved of her plans, and she would often come over to babysit me, happy to treat me like an infant, and it was her idea to change my bedtimes to 7:30 every night. I knew better than to argue with her since she had shown no hesitation in blistering my bottom with Denise's paddle. It was also her idea to extend my monthly chastity sentence to 3 months at a time. Okay, let's put away your coloring book, Jimmy, it's time to get you ready for bed by now, Brooke said as she summarily closed the page. I had been drawing on and began putting away my crayons without waiting for my approval. AW, is it time already? I whined miserably. I couldn't believe it was already after 7, but since my nursery had no clocks in it, I never had any way of knowing what time it was. Yes it is, sissy, it's time to get you changed and ready for bed, she explained in her motherly tone. Let's get that dress off and then it'll be time for night-night. I pouted as she pulled the frilly ensemble over my head in outstretched arms before hanging it up in the closet. She returned almost immediately with a pink and white fuzzy fleece diaper shirt, decorated with a Disney princess theme. No sooner was it pulled into place than she presented me with my nightly bottle.